Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I agree with several members that it is indeed true that this is a very emotive topic, especially when you talk about the increase of VAT on fuel. But again, to be fair, even as we bash the proposal to raise the 8% to 16%, we also need to be honest enough and inform the public that this thing was passed in the previous parliament and then deferred to this session. But be that as it may, Madam Chair, be that as it may, Chair, it is important for also the House to know that the government has taken measures, several measures to mitigate the challenge of the increase of the 8%. The escalating dollar has been mitigated through the G2G matters. The issues
of you will not shout.
Zero rating in terms of the farm inputs have been reviewed. So there are so many things that have been done. So
majority whip. Order. It will be one person at a time. Please take your seats. Honorable Wamboka, what is out of order?
Honorable Chair, we are the 13th Parliament and we are here to look at issues as they come to us, as fresh as they are. Is the Honorable Member in order to mislead the House that we are looking at a bill of the past Parliament when they have just presented this bill that is retrogressive, that the bill that is going to hurt Mwananchi, the bill that is going to hurt Boda Boda.
Honorable Wamboka, that is a point of debate. Majority whip, finalize.
Let me finalize by saying this. For clarity purposes, I'm talking about deferring. This issue was deferred from 2018 to this season. But be that as it may, Honorable Chair, hold on, Honorable Mbadi, be that as it may, the government has taken other mitigation measures to curb the challenge of the escalating. I mean, there are so many things. You guys want us to operate on subsidy. You guys want us to operate
members,
on
if you're on your feet, I am not giving you. Member for nominated member, Mbadi, what is out of order?
Madam Chair, we all know that this house is a house of records, and it is a house where we must be factual and truthful. When the majority whip misleads the whole country, and the whole country is watching, that the last parliament passed VAT on petroleum products at 16% and it was deferred, that is not correct. The last parliament, if he has forgotten, rejected the 16%. We only allowed 8% after the president's memorandum. There is no deferment, and Madam Speaker, Madam Chair.
Order, member. Honorable Mbadi, you're debating. Member for Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. And I know this issue has been extremely emotive. But I would like not to dwell in the politics, but look at this proposal from a finance perspective as we did. We have three types of VAT in this country. A product is either zero rated, tax exempted, or vatable. So for the vatable supplies, whether goods or services, all of them are at 16%, apart from fuel, which is at 8%. So what does that do for that particular sector? There's something you call input VAT and output VAT. So for all the players in this particular fuel sector, they pay input tax at 16%. But once they sell that fuel to the market, they sell it at 8%. So when they go to claim their VAT, they are always on a credit position. Let me finish. What therefore means, what it means to be on credit position, what it means, we heard you. Give me a minute to finish my argument. What it means to be on a credit position is that it is taxpayers' money that has been paying the remaining 8%, and that is a fact. 8% that you have been subsidizing by charging VAT on fuel at 8% on for all the other supplies 16%. It means it is taxpayers' money that was paying this 8%. And this is what this proposal is curing. Members of the public told us, look at the other taxes that are composed this on fuel. And Honorable Chair, we looked at them. Honorable members of parliament who are here will know that the distributed equitably among all the 290 constituencies in this country to repair our maram roads. That is a fact. So we looked at what are the other taxes in fuel that we can reduce. And Honorable Chair, we looked at import declaration fee, what you call IDF. We have reduced that from 3.5% to 2.5%. We looked at railway development levy, and we have reduced that from 2% to 1.5%. And those
wind
are
up,
facts.
wind up, Chair. Minority Leader.
Madam Chair, let me add my voice to this debate. And clearly, if by any chance this clause becomes part of the bill and the VAT on fuel is increased 16%, this will be the saddest day in the history of this country. Madam Chair, if there is one thing that is going to affect the common person, if there is one thing that is going to increase the cost of living in all aspects, it is this proposed increment on the VAT on fuel, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, we all know for sure that fuel is a driver of our economy on all facets, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, if there is one thing that this government should have done to the so-called hustler, was to caution the hustler from an increment in the cost of fuel. Madam Chair, there is nowhere in the law where we are compelled to have a uniform rate of VAT on all products and services. VAT rates can vary, and they have varied before. Madam Chair, if there is a demonstration of the lack of interest in the welfare of the border, if there's a demonstration of the lack of interest in the welfare of the Mamamboga, it is this decision or attempt by the Kenya Kwanza government to increase VAT on fuel, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I can tell you, if by any chance, and God forbid, that this finance bill is passed and it becomes an act of parliament, that will mark the beginning of the fall of this regime. I can tell you. It will not take more.
Finally, Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, we should not be worried when others prophesy the beginning of the end of a regime, because we have seen many other prophecies before, including those from Shakahola. But Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true, as Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the member for Kilifi. Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the member for Kilifi.
Leader of Majority, wind up.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker was saying it is indeed true that a rise in VAT by 8% will occasion a rise in fuel prices, Honorable Speaker. But it must not be lost on us that without the G2G intervention on fuel prices, today, with the dollar trading at 140 shillings plus, the cost of fuel today without the necessary interventions done by this regime would be at a figure of about 210 plus shillings without the interventions that have been taken by government. True, Honorable Speaker, my second point. VAT, it is true what the Leader of Minority says. You can have varying rates of VAT, but it becomes problematic. Members are aware all marketers in this country have taken advantage of the varying interest rates. The problem that we have with claims, VAT claims on input tax, is because of these varying interest rates, and that is a fact that you cannot dispute. 3, Honorable Speaker, our VAT rate at 16%, in the region where our country is a market leader and the strongest economy in this region, VAT in Kenya, even at 16%, is still the lowest. Uganda being at 18% on fuel. Our friends in Tanzania, Rwanda, also at 18%, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we did promise in the campaign that we will reduce taxes and reduction of taxes on fuel, Honorable
Order,
Speaker.
members.
It is true that there have been reductions on taxes on fuel. The chair has enumerated the railway development levy that has gone down. IDF has gone down. And those are taxes and levies on fuel, just as President William Ruto promised during the
Majority Leader.
Presidential debate, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Junet, what is out of order?
Chair, Madam Chair, is it in order that this is a House of Records and procedure and everything? Is it in order for the Majority Leader to mislead the House that fuel, the rate of VAT, your fuel in Uganda and Tanzania is higher than Kenya, when he knows very well that fuel is cheaper in Uganda and Tanzania by far, Madam Chair. By far, Madam Chair, when you know.
Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, you know I have tremendous respect for my friend and my brother, Honorable Junet. And that is why I endeavor to protect him, for people not to shout at him when he's speaking, because he has very good points. And indeed it is true. Fuel could be cheaper in Uganda and Tanzania. But look at the interventions there that include subsidies, the same subsidies that this government did away with at the beginning of this regime. Those subsidies, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from John Buddy, Honorable Speaker, and I don't know, Honorable Speaker, protect me from John Buddy, who is up on his feet.
Order, members. Majority Leader.
Thank you for your protection, Madam Speaker. I was saying, Honorable Speaker, the subsidies, and this is a truth that we must speak to our people. The subsidies that were in fuel before this regime came to power were costing taxpayers a whopping 16 billion shillings in a month. The level of debt we are talking about today is because of these subsidies, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, if we speak about what we have saved the people of Kenya, count the 16 billion shillings that we have saved hustlers from paying every month. Count the fuel, the railway development levy.
Majority Leader, your time is up. I now put